I'd like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting of July 21st, 2016 at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for a roll call.
Mayor Gunther.
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Addington.
Here.
Trustee Barker is absent tonight. Trustee Berry.
Here.
Trustee Guzzo.
Here.
Trustee Little.
Here.
Trustee Nero.
Here.
Village Manager May.
Here.
Attorney Perez.
Here.
Finance Director Parker.
Here. Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And good evening and welcome. The first part of the meeting will have an open forum. I do have one request. If anybody else would like to speak on any issue not on the agenda, you still have an opportunity to fill out, see Chief Mulhern. If not, the one request I have is from the Westmont Chamber, and they have some information on some future programming. Larry Forrester.
Just a really quick plug. I'm proud to say that we've started a new program with the Westmont Post Office. Paper marketing. It's coming back strong, and a major reason is the post office has substantially cut costs for using this type of marketing programs. So we're going to be working closely with the post office to help educate our business community and get them using a little bit more marketing to reach out to our customers in the Westmont area. So just want to put a plug. This is actually next Thursday at 11 a.m. to noon at Westmont Center. There's no charge for it. The post office providing lunch and a lot of good information on how a business can help promote and market themselves. So if you can help us get the word out, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, we'll move to reports. My reports first. And the first item on my report would be our Customer Service Award. About a year and a half ago, we started a Customer Service Award where we acknowledge and recognize one of our staff that have gone over and above the call of duty to service our residents. And at this time, I'd ask Spencer Parker if he could give some additional information.
There.
You can do it there. You've got a seat now.
So I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Jenny Babiar for her great customer service. As you're aware, there's a customer service nomination form that we have, and Jenny's been nominated a number of times for her outstanding customer service. Some of the recent examples have included situations where people have come to the window with a question or a concern, and Jenny was patiently assisting them throughout the entire process. There's been times where people come in a little frustrated with water bills or having to pay water bills, and she's able to be friendly and courteous and kind and help them to feel better as they leave than they did when they came in, and that's always a good thing. She interacts well with the children that come in and help the kids have a fun time. I saw her the other day taking a kid who was not extremely happy to be there at first and then helping him be happy for having come. And that's always a good thing when a kid who can go on an errand with a parent and have a fun time at the village hall. So it's a great example of Jenny's great customer service, and we're very grateful for that customer service that she provides.
Very good. And I'd like to present her with the certificate in recognition of her outstanding level of service provided to the residents of the Village of Westmont.
All right, thank you.
Speech.
Speech.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, if you remember, when Jenny was first hired, she was in the building department.
Yes.
And I remember one of the problems with having her in the building department is that we couldn't see her smiley face when we walked in. And so now that you're out front, it's great to have that first impression, to have her sitting there. So again, just thank you again. Yes, thanks.
We've heard nothing but good comments about your service. So. My second item, and this is something I really enjoy doing, is when we have recognition of our own student athletes. And we have one student athlete who has been an all-state, I think, 4 years, and now I'd ask Larry McIntyre to, her name's Annie Carlson, and Larry's going to give a little bit of background information on Annie.
I will do my best.
Well, ask Annie to come up and stand next to you here.
Absolutely. Annie and Mary Beth, if Mom wants to come up as well. Sure, well, we'll do that in a moment. We'll do all of that. Absolutely. So yeah, well, what I'll do is I'll start, but then I'll let Annie fill in the gaps. But Annie has been probably the most amazing female athlete in Westmont High School history. And it starts with 4 years as a varsity starter of the basketball team, and scored over 1,000 points during her 4-year tenure. And so that's pretty amazing. And all-conference player in basketball. And then, I don't think I got this right, something about double-doubles. Was that every game? Or
Yeah, rebounding points, yeah.
every game for all 4 years?
I think it was probably only the last 2.
Only the last 2 years,
Yeah.
but that's still only the last 2. Double-double every game for the last 2 seasons, so that's pretty amazing. So that's wonderful in and of itself, but where it gets even more exciting and exceptional is in the area of track and field. So going into the state meet of this past year, Annie was already the most decorated athlete in the history of Westmont's track and field program, but then went to state yet again to compete in how many events?
4, but I only made finals in 3.
And can you talk about those real quick?
Okay, so for prelims, I had the long jump, the triple jump, the 100-meter hurdles, and the 300-meter hurdles. I had like a really bad race. I was seeded second in the 100 hurdles, but then I had a bad race, so I didn't make finals. But I got second place in the triple jump and the 300 hurdles both, and then third in the long jump. So yeah, that was my senior year.
And
listening.
and I believe you hold a total of 10 Westmont High School records?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, and then not only a great athlete, but also a great student, and credits Principal Balderman for pushing her in the AP classes, and graduated with 21 hours of college credit. And so that's almost a full semester of school, college completed before she actually arrives there, and has a scholarship to the track team for Colorado State University, which you're beginning this fall then?
Yeah.
And so anyway, just an
I
amazing
think the other thing, she single-handedly, your junior and senior year had Westmont place in the top
I think
10?
6th
Six?
for my junior year, and then I don't know what last year, maybe
Ninth.
like 9th.
Or 7th?
But that was only, you're the only one that had
Yeah.
the points, so that's honor in
As the
itself.
only Westmont athlete, she placed in the top 10
Yeah.
2 years for the school, so.
What we'd like to do, I'd like to present you with the Community Appreciation Award. And
Yeah, right, Andy.
Yeah.
There, you on her phone?
congratulations.
All right.
Okay, I have one more item, and it's our Taste of Westmont has come and gone, and I'd like to thank all of our volunteers. And I think we continually say this, but the whole event is run by volunteers. Not only the Special Event Corporation, but our EMA, our first aid through our fire department, our police department, even though they may be getting paid, they're black. That day is no one can take a day off that whole time. So it takes a whole community of individuals to put on an event like that. And I think they had the largest attendance to date. And I'll let Linda probably give numbers on that. But I do have to thank everyone for all their dedicated work for those days. It turned out to be a great event. So again, thank you to all the volunteers. That's all I have, and I'd ask Clerk Simsky if she has anything.
Yes, first of all, I want to wish happy birthday, belated birthday to Trustee Nero.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Thank you.
And I want to, like you, congratulate the special events in all their volunteers on this outstanding taste this year. I think they broke records in what they made in the carnival, and what they made in the beer tent. I mean, they really had an outstanding year, which is terrific. And lastly, turn off your TVs and get out to the street fair now.
You knew that was coming.
That's all I have.
Okay. Attorney,
I don't have any report, thank you.
Manager May.
Mayor, if we could, this evening, I would ask for 2 different executive sessions, one for purposes of discussing personnel, and the second, land acquisition. You have the long.
I have the,
yes.
okay.
Thank you, that's it.
Trustees. Trustee Nero.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things. First off, I just wanted to call up Chief Weiss to talk about Burn Camp, the fundraiser that's upcoming. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Trustee Nero. Yes, our kids' burn camp is going to be on Saturday, August 6th from 11 to 3, I believe. And it's going to be at Ty Park. So we're inviting everybody to come out and support that. Last year, they donated $2,000 to burn camp, which supported funding 2 children to attend that week-long camp. And then the second thing I wanted to remind everybody is next Thursday night, turn off your TVs and come on down for fire truck night. We're going to be down next Thursday night from 5 to 9 downtown. It'll be fire truck night. We got a lot of exciting things going to happen. This year we're going to have a special event at 8 o'clock at night. We're going to dedicate our new antique fire truck that was donated to the village and the fire department. And we're getting an overwhelming response from fire departments wanting to come back this year. So weather looks like it's going to be good, and bring the kids. We have a lot of events for the kids, a lot of safety things. So look forward to seeing everybody next Thursday night. Thanks.
Thank you, Chief. The other item I wanted to remind everybody is the Citizens Police Academy is up and available to sign up online. So please check out our website, and if you want to sign up, it's a great event. Make sure you can take part of that. And then next, again, thanks to everybody who's part of the Taste. I was there a couple of days, and again, it was just a lot of fun to be able to walk to an awesome fest like that. So thank you. Another thing, I want to highlight this neat restaurant I tried in International Mall. It's called Hand Bun. If you haven't heard of it, it's a family, a Westmont family that owns it. Awesome food. It's really unique. Give it a try. You're going to walk in International Mall and you're going to forget where you are. You're not going to think you're in Westmont, and it's just kind of a neat thing. So check it out. What kind of food? It is, I'm probably going to get it wrong. Don't quote me. Maybe Larry can help. Is it Korean?
Asian Korean.
Asian Korean food. Yeah, it's real good. You'll love it. It's all fresh stuff, top of the menu. I mean, it really is a good spot, and it's very reasonable, and the family lives here in town, too, so it's real cool. Other thing, I tried the new Bee restaurant at the Hilton, and if you haven't tried it, you can now finally try the Westmont homegrown honey they serve with the bread, which is real cool, mixed with some ricotta cheese, and it's a real good establishment. It may sound goofy, but give it a shot. Trust me, it's real good. My wife and I actually went back just to have some of the bread with the honey, so it was a real neat spot. Give it a shot, and that's all I have. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Trustee Guzzo.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next Finance Committee meeting will be August 4th here at 4 o'clock. I hope everyone can attend. Secondly, I do want to say congratulations. The taste was great. It was nice to see everybody. The weather was perfect. I think a good time was had by all. So thanks again to everyone for putting in all those hours and all the hard work. It does not go unappreciated. Lastly, I want to remind everyone, when you see a fire truck or you see a police car with their sirens on, please pull to the right for when you see sirens and lights. I was out Tuesday night, I saw a fire truck out on the street, and I saw someone deliberately, maybe not intentionally, pull out in front of them. You never know where they're going. They could be going to a family member's house or somewhere else. So please, put down the phone, turn the radio down. When you see the lights and you see the sirens, please move to the right. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Even if there's a Pokemon there.
Yes, even if there is a Pokemon. Just please, keep your eyes on the road. They're out there to do us a service, and it was just very troubling. My husband was like, go get the guy's license plate. It was that bad. So I just want to remind everybody about that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Baer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to, piggyback everyone's sentiments and thank all the volunteers and the WSEC. What a great event the whole weekend was. So again, thank you to Linda and her group. At the last Public Works Committee, we had it last Thursday at the Water Department. We were about 3.5 hours, and I don't think we covered every subject, but we did have the residents of Birch Point in regard to their road. We went over with Noriel the upcoming alley improvements, and I think you're seeing that work start already with the Downers Grove Sanitary. So that project is moving along. And then a lot of time was devoted to, and the public is going to hear more and more about this, but the research and development of a new public works facility. We are in dire need because of EPA concerns to replace our public works and try to get everything under one roof. So that's an ongoing project that Mike Ramsey is working on with a lot of staff. Our next meeting will be here before our board meeting on September 5th. And that is all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll go to Trustee Addington.
Just a couple of things tonight. First one is strategic plan met earlier this month, and you'll hear some more information about what's going on from Linda, because we did talk about some of the things, but we are continuing to work on those 81 items, and the next homework that I gave to the implementation committee was to look at items that are now being completed, so we can start reporting back to the community things that are being done or are starting to be worked on to get done, so that we can keep a periodic report back to the general public, because this was important to a lot of people to make this thing work. And then the other thing is economic development. We'll have our next meeting on August the 3rd. A lot of good things are happening with economic development, and yeah, go to our new restaurants and enjoy them. And the last thing is that just remind everybody, September 23rd will be the Lions Club sponsoring the Kelly Miller Circus as part of the 95th anniversary, and there'll be a lot more information coming out shortly with that, because we're starting to now get places in town where people will be able to go and buy tickets probably by the last week in August or September 1st. And we're looking forward to that. That should be a lot of fun. And that's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Trustee Little.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to let everyone know that we adjourned our Administration Committee meeting about 18 minutes ago. It was pretty intensive for the hour and a half that we had. We covered a lot of information. There is a potential for a new Westmont Taiwanese Sister City program that we're going to be pursuing actively. The mayor has an opportunity to go to Taiwan, and along with a couple other people from this village, and they're going to meet up with two different villages, two different counties in Taiwan to pick a village for us to exchange with. So I think that's pretty special. It will also include cultural program exchange. It will also cover economic development potential and educational student exchange. So there's a lot of opportunity for Westmont and Taiwan to come together once again. The strategic plan discussion items were home rule status that we talked about was more for additional areas that can be included in Westmont. So that's ongoing. Community branding initiative is brand new. We just talked about that today. We have a subcommittee from the strategic plan that is going to consider rebranding for the village of Westmont, and they'll be meeting additionally several times, getting it ready to promote to the village, say by next May. So that's going to be something that we're going to ask everyone to get involved in, everyone to make time commitment to give us your opinion, give us your feedback. We want everyone to participate in this so that we get the largest response that we could possibly get for this. In addition, we talked about community events and 5K races, whether there should be a limit and whether there should be a fee. Those are ongoing discussions that will come up at a further date. And We did have comments about the kids' burn camp, and that just about wraps that up. I'm going to echo Jenny for a moment and say, get off your television sets and get down to the car show, because it's going to be a beautiful night for it. I think there's still some cars out there. It seemed to be pretty intense for a while. It's a big night every Thursday night. We really try to get everybody involved. There's activities, there's children activities, there's cars to look at, there's people to talk to, and there's also good food and drink, so please come out for that one. And I think that's all I'm going to say.
Well, thank
Mayor.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, the agenda, items to be removed from the consent agenda. Does any trustee see any item they'd like removed? Seeing none, I'd ask Manager May to please read the consent agenda.
This evening, on the consent agenda, the first item is Village Board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the Village Board meeting held July 7, 2016. Next is Finance Ordinance number 6 in the amount of $1,576,685.67. There's one purchase order, Westmont Chamber of Commerce, $21,000. It represents the Chamber External Funding Tourism Promotion Services. There was only one purchase order, so the total of purchase orders and Finance Ordinance number 6 is $1,597,685.60. Next is it's not a circus hotel, it is a hotel motel grant request for a circus. Board to consider an ordinance awarding hotel motel grant request in the amount of $2,500 to the Westmont Lions Club for the circus. If you'd like, that concludes the consent agenda, but if you need any information on the circus, Trustee Addington's an expert.
Person to see. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve, Little.
Second, Addington.
Motion been made and seconded. Any questions? Anybody in the audience? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Neal?
Motion passes. We do not have any unfinished business. We'll move on to new business. 340 South Lincoln Street, a fence variance. Board to consider an ordinance requesting a zoning code variance request from Gene Skubal to allow a 5-foot solid fence in the side yard adjoining the street in the R3 single-family detached residence district. And I'd ask Planner Joe Hennerfein.
Perfect. Thank you, Mayor. 340 South Lincoln is the property directly on the corner of South Lincoln Street at 55th Street. If you know the house, it was vacant for quite some time. It's undergone extensive renovation, including the landscaping. I was first approached by the applicant, Jean Skubal, probably close to 2 months ago. She was looking to install a fence for safety for her grandchildren who she watches, only to find out that the fence restrictions on corner lots are somewhat restrictive, especially when you have a major corridor like 55th. She's gone through the variance process, received a unanimous approval to install a 5-foot wood fence, not all the way up to the sidewalk, actually behind some large pine trees that are there, fairly in conformance with some of the previous variances that were granted along 55th Avenue. And it did receive unanimous approval, and staff recommends approval as well.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So move Guzzo.
Second, Addington.
Motion made and seconded to approve as presented. On the question.
So I know we had done this just a couple blocks down a couple months ago, right?
Yes,
Same
actually on
exact.
Grant, but that fence actually did come all the way up to the property line. This was actually set back about 5 or 6 feet and behind some existing landscape.
Yeah, and I had a chance to watch the meeting, the planning and zoning, and one of the reasons that Jean wants to do this is it attaches right up into her side door, so the kids can go out and down and right into the backyard, and it's complete safety for her grandchildren, which makes a lot of sense. And we've done this before, so I see no reason why not.
And I have to see how it works.
There you go.
Any additional comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Motion passes. B, 38 and 42 West Naperville Road, Automotive Garage.
Dominic.
Board to consider ordinance approving the following request from Dominic Tomanso, that's close, in the B2 General Business District. One, a special use permit request to allow the operation of an existing automotive garage at 38 West Naperville Road. And two, special use permit request to allow the expansion of an automotive garage to be located at 42 West Naperville Road. Again, planner Joe Hernerfein.
Thank you, Mayor. So the request before you was twofold. Dominic Tomasone has operated Village Automotive at 38 West Naperville Road for approximately 25 years. To operate an automotive repair business, you do need a special use. His existing business predates the special use ordinance. He's been operating without one as a grandfathered use. He wishes to expand into the facility at 42 West Naperville, which has operated as a small engine repair for several years. He's owned the building for several years. In order to expand, staff felt it was prudent to kind of clean up and, number one, get a special use approval for his existing business, since none was on the record, and then also get a special use approval for the expansion of the business. It did receive a unanimous approvals through both Economic Development Committee and Planning and Zoning. And there was in-depth discussion about his existing operations. There are some special conditions that are proposed as part of the ordinance to maintain a fence that is around his existing outdoor storage, to kind of deter parking on the sidewalks, which tends to happen ever since the right-of-way kind of expanded into his front yard there, and then also to keep from having extended storage around the building at 42 West Naperville. And staff recommends approval.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion by Addington to approve.
Second, Nero.
I don't know who
Sorry
Jen
about
and I
that.
are.
That's fine.
Motion been made and second on the question.
There is one unique item that wasn't mentioned that Dominic wants to do, and I think is really nice. The property that he's expanding to, there's a pass-around. The building, and I don't know if you have a picture of it that you could show, but there's the parking lot kind of goes around that building to, what is that, Grant Street?
Yeah, that's
The
Grant.
Grant Street. He would have all of his traffic flow for people waiting to go in off of Naperville Road. They would then go around the building and exit on Grant Street to go back to Naperville Road, which would be a much safer situation than trying to back up and out, which they kind of have to do now. So he kind of told us a little about that, and he also explained that at Planning and Zoning, and I think it makes a much safer situation. Plus, right now, there really wasn't any place for his customers to have a decent waiting area, and he will have that now. So it really creates two nice elements, and there's some history to the longevity of the building he wants to expand into, which was, we think, was a garage way back a long time ago. So, and he's been one of the good businesses in town for a long time, so.
I was not able to attend the EDC, but I did go see Dominic, and I don't think we have many worries there. Dominic's office and his shop are nicer than at least a third of the homes here in Westmont, and as a neighbor down the street, he's been a great neighbor to all of us, the Cubises and so forth. So I think this is a no-brainer in my opinion.
And I'm in the 200 block of North Grant. I've never seen any issues, you know, I come and go quite a bit, and it's nice to see that the property's kept up, and so thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional? Anybody from the audience? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business C, Class B tobacco license. Board to consider an ordinance increasing the number of Class B tobacco license by one to accommodate a request from Tobacco and Vape Zone located at 213 East Ogden Avenue. And I'd ask Deputy Police Chief Jim Gunther to give us some additional information.
Thank you, Mayor. I have applicant Mr. Kiswani to my right. He's requesting a Class B tobacco license, of which, and I know this always comes up, we have 21 current tobacco licenses. He's looking to look at the 213 East Ogden Avenue, unit number E. That's, for proximity's sake, it's the plaza just to the west of the Humidor for orientation purposes. And I will have Mr. Kiswani explain his business, the products that he will sell, and the reason for the request.
Thank you. I'm seeking a license for the tobacco. It's a small tobacco store and tobacco accessories, small candy store also. You know, can have lottery machine, tobacco, cigarette, some drinks, you know, soft drink and all that stuff. And the vape, the reason with that, there is like 4 or 5 new stores just opening down as a Grove. And the vape has become very big, very popular things between the people. And a lot of people in the dealers, they smoke vape. And they start, you know, when you're gonna get vape. I don't have enough space in my station right now. So I offer to open a vape store in Downers Grove from the same, as a matter of fact, the same real estate guy. I refuse. I say I'm in Westmont. I want to open in Westmont. So I look for that place, and I thought it's convenient to open a vape and tobacco store. That's it.
For proximity purposes, I went around and the stores in Westmont that closely resemble what the proposal is are the 2 stores attached almost by where Penny's is, up at the 600 block of North Cass, or the tobacco outlet and Sight and Sound. Then there's one in St. James Crossing, another tobacco with similar products, all within the same Ogden Avenue corridor.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion by Addington to approve.
Second by Little.
Motion been made and second to approve as presented. On the question.
I have just a statement. My concern, and I had expressed it to the applicant before, was whether or not this would create any problems for Humidor. So I went over there and talked to them. They feel like it's a completely different business. His selling retail, you know, for people to leave there. I don't believe there's even any sitting going to be there.
Not at all.
As opposed to what they do at Humidor, which is really more the ambiance of going in, being able to smoke inside, watch TV, and all the things that they do. So they had no objection whatsoever, and he's going to be basically just to the west of them. And I thought that was important, so.
Any other comments, questions? Trustee Barry.
Question for Deputy Chief. I see a lot of the communities, and maybe not a lot, but I see communities going more and more towards 21 on the smoking purchases. Do we have opinions on that, or do you think that would be beneficial to the village?
21 years? 21 years?
More to the Deputy Chief, yeah. I don't know if anyone else has seen that you're seeing more and more communities go to 21 versus the 18.
I believe the city of Chicago has that on as an ordinance for the city. We haven't researched that particular subject, but certainly something we can look at. On a personal opinion, you know, I have no objection to it, but you know, I'm not the only opinion. But certainly it's something we can take a look at, and if it's, you know, through legal, if it's possible to do that, and if the city of Chicago could do it, I'm sure we could do it too, and we can explore that if you want.
It's going to be hard.
City of Chicago does, they have their own set of rules.
They absolutely
Their
do.
home rules.
Their home rules. So there are some, yeah.
There are some differences, and I don't know that we would be able to do it. I have to research it, though.
You know, they passed this in Chicago, but it's not working at all. So they're not enforcing the law. Because I have a business in Chicago, and they're still not working.
Any other questions or comments? Anybody in the audience? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
New business D, 2016 Westmont Fire Department declare item as surplus equipment. Board to consider an ordinance declaring a fire department light trailer as surplus property. Chief Weiss.
Thanks, Mayor. The property consisting of a 1985 Allman Brothers Max Light 3 light trailer, model LD 30.3 CEM, serial number 860908, has outlived its useful life, is outdated, poses a safety risk to use, or is otherwise not economically maintainable. The trailer will be sold, donated, or scrapped as appropriate. Upon being declared surplus and disposed of, this property will be removed from the village's property inventory. And this is an EMA trailer. It's 20, what is it, 15, so 30 years old, 31 years old.
31.
And yeah, 31 years old, and it hasn't, they haven't used it in 2 years.
Still getting over that, sorry.
Yeah.
Please,
And by law, we have to declare something surplus before we can sell it or get rid of it. So I need a motion.
Motion to approve. Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second on the question. Any comments? I'd ask for roll call, please.
Thank you.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passes. Miscellaneous, does anybody have any other items to discuss?
Yes, sir.
Seeing none, then I'd entertain a motion to go to executive session. At this time, we have requests for an executive session. We'll adjourn to go into executive session. I read everything there right here.
Motion to
For
go
a
into-
purpose, I got to read for a
Yeah,
purpose.
you gotta give the
Public
rules.
purpose pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meeting Act to discuss the employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of an employee, and for a public purpose pursuant to Section 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss the possible acquisition of property by the village. And do I have a motion to go into
Motion to go
executive
into
session?
executive session for those two purposes.
Second by Barry.
Second by the side of the room.
All right, motion been made and second go into executive session for the mentioned reasons and roll call.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
My motion will be going into executive session, and there will not be any further business after the executive session. I promise you, it's going to be short. So this portion of the meeting is adjourned.
Just